Welcome to European Railway Issue 96, the DVD magazine for the continental enthusiast. In this programme we have part 1 of a feature looking at the northern route of the main Gottard line between Hendschiken and Rotkreuz in Switzerland. Heritage steam and modern diesel action from northern Italy. An Interrail journey around Czechia and Slovakia. Early morning passenger trains feature in our look at rush hour activity to the southeast of Brussels. And part 3 of our study of mainline traffic on the Wunstorf to Minden route to the southwest of Hanover. We begin the programme around 25 kilometres to the west of Zurich, on the northern stretch of the busy Gotthard main line that runs through the valley of the River Bunz between Hendschiken and Rotkreuz, shown here on our map. This is part 1 of a two-part feature looking at the rail traffic along this rural but busy main line. Built as the Argyll Southern Railway between 1874 and 1881, the line today sees local passenger and long-distance freight services. This is the station at Hendschiken, some 30 kilometres away from Rotkreuz. About to leave the island platform is Class 560 unit number 286. Built in 1939, this preserved RAE 48 unit was once used to transport British Prime Minister Winston Churchill on a state visit to the country in September 1946. It is the sole survivor of 3 units that were built between 1939 and 1953 for special charter traffic. Class 523 units are regular performers here, working services to Lenzburg and onwards towards Alton. Here we have double-deck unit number 511062. (523.047) has drawn alongside and prepares for departure onwards towards Alton. Services are typically every 30 minutes in each direction. (523.062) departs for Zurich, whilst sister unit number 061 has just arrived from the north. Just south of the station we get this view of 523047 on an Alton to Rotkreuz service. (523.042) has not long left the station at Dottikon and is seen here powering north. Just 5 minutes later and it is the turn of 521025. Passing the grain elevator at Dottikon is 465018 on a set of car carrying wagons from Italy. This is the station at Dottikon Dintikon, as 186901 and 906 head south with an intermodal. Five 521025 follows shortly after, with a stopper for Rotkreuz. One of SBB Cargo's new Vectrons is next to appear, in the shape of 193468. This is 11263 on stone hoppers from Sigirino to Huntwangenwil. There are two factories which produce rail-borne traffic here, and these are shunted each day by a Class 923 locomotive. Today's turn saw 923019 positioning a wagon to be collected by a northbound trip freight a little later on. 523 unit number 065 arrives with a service for Brugg. We head south now and we are close to Bosville as we see DB Cargo class 185097 on train 45,000 with empty steel carrying wagons from Chiasso to Mannheim. (523.047) comes into view, forming one of the hourly stopping services to and from Rotkreuz. Freight trains along this route vary in frequency, but 2 an hour in each direction is the least that you can expect. Heading south we have 11346 and 11679. Heading south a few kilometres and we arrive at Mori, where we will conclude the first part of our look at this line. We'll have part 2 in the next edition of European Railway. The line down from Wohlen to Mori was opened by the Aargau Southern Railway on the 1st of June 1875. Heading south we capture 11682 and 11670. 523047 once again departs north with a Rotkreuz to Olten service. On the 18th of July 2019, 193471 passes working an intermodal train bound for Italy, which it will work through the new Gotthard base tunnel. There are occasional intercity workings along this route, such as this. 603011 is seen running empty to Basel to have some unsightly graffiti removed. Over the past few years, steam-operated tours have worked along some of the southern Alpine lines in northern Italy. Our camera operator, Maurizio Tellini, has been on hand to catch not only the specials at work, but also some of the other attractions seen on the routes. In this section, we study steam on the first of three routes, beginning on the picturesque single-track line linking Trento with Bassaso. We will visit the other lines in the next edition of this series. Our maps show the various locations visited, beginning at Trento, which lies on the main Interrail Pass line towards Austria. Our engine for the day is freight loco number 74293, belonging to Trenitalia's historic fleet. This 280 class once totalled 740 members, and date from between 1911 and 1922. 49 locos still survive, with a number of operational examples, including this one, seen here at Trento, being readied for the day's run to Bassaso. Whilst awaiting the loco's departure off shed, our camera operator filmed some of the passing trains. weighing in at 67 tonnes, together with a 32 or 50 tonne tender, the loco has a maximum speed of 65 km per hour, with length over buffers at 18 or 19 metres. This particular loco is based out of Verona. The line begins to climb out of Trento immediately after the main station. This is achieved by a single-track viaduct taking the line above the streets and houses. The route was built in 1896 in what was then part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire as a connection towards Verona, with a border station with Italy at CZECHIA, where the Italian section reached the border between 1906 and 1910. Services along the line are generally operated by Alstom Minuetto DMUs, designated as Class ALN 501, which date from 2004 onwards. Services between Trento and Bassaso operate at hourly frequencies, starting at 5 AM in the morning and finishing around 10 at night. Next, it was our third location, close to Lake Coldonazzo, with some lovely views across the water and to the distant hills. Moving east, and we are at our fourth location, not far from Levico Terme. A Class ALN 501 from Bassaso heads west. The steam is waiting in the station to cross with the oncoming passenger train. Moving east once again, and we have two further locations at Martar and Borjo Valsugana. We begin at Martar, as number 74293 is overtaken by a Class ALN 501 unit working a train from Trento to Bassaso. Once the unit has passed, the steam was ready to go. The Telvana castle, high above Borgo Valsugana, dates back to the 13th century, with the town below being an important stop along the Roman road Via Claudio Augusta Altinate. The castle is grouped around a square watchtower, which reaches a height of around 26 metres. Written evidence suggests that the original Roman fortress was destroyed by the Franks in 590, whilst other sources claim the destruction took place in the late Middle Ages. Nearby polytunnels protect the strawberries. Our next two locations are at Palu and Primo Lavo. This location here is on the approach to Primo Lavo. The station at Primo Lavo was a pathing stop where two local passenger trains made their way to and from Trento. A Class ALN 501 unit passes the special and heads southbound for Bassaso. We have 2 more locations for you as the train continues its journey south to Bassaso. We'll look at more steam in northern Italy in the next edition of European Railway. Camera operator Richard Scott enjoys interrailing around Europe. In this section we join him on a trip around Czechia and Slovakia. Class 754s are common on local passenger turns on unelectrified lines. This is Klatovy station as 754041 comes off a local train from Ježňa Rura. So far we've been around the capital, Prague. Now we've moved northeast and it is to the station at Hradec Králové that we visit next.
Společnost České dráhy ve směru Třebechovice pod Orebem, Týniště nad Orlicí, Borohrádek a Choceň na nástupiště číslo.
Ready to take the train forward to Trutnov is diesel 754030. Here we are at Ústí nad Labem, as 371001 arrives with a Eurocity train from Dresden. Prague's main station plays host to 754044, one of just 4 examples of the class based at the city. A real favourite for European enthusiasts is the daily diagram for a Class 210 centre cab electric on branch line trains between Rybnik to Lipno nad Vltavou. Here the loco runs around its 2 BTX trailer vehicles at Lipno. This is a summer-only diagram. An unusual Hungarian Type 431 diagram takes one of the class to Leopoldov, where a Slovakian Class 754 diesel takes over for the run to Prievidza. At Topol Chiani, we change trains to await the arrival of 750-182 on the 0827 Prievidza to Bratislava service. Back at Leopoldov, the 750 makes for a quick departure off the train, where an electric will take the service forward. Seven 36101 is next to be seen on a local on the Prievidza line. Here 736105 departs Shirani. Class 560 units have now been withdrawn from traffic. This is 560.033 at Nowe Zamki. There's no mistaking where this is. 350.013 restarts its Budapest to Prague Eurocity service. It's back to Czechia now, as we see a colourful 754.049. More diesel action now, as 714007 is seen on the northern outskirts of Prague with a train for Rakovník. (714.016) heads through the outskirts of the capital. We'll be travelling once again with Richard Scott in a future edition of European Railway. Belgium is our next stop in this programme, as we cover the early morning commuter trains at the station at Mont-Saint-Guibert, to the southeast of the country's capital, Brussels. The line is a two-track affair on the route down to Namur and Liège, as well as down to the neighbouring country of Luxembourg. The route is dominated by passenger trains with very little in the way of freight. During the early morning and evening peak periods, traffic is busy, with trains every 5 to 10 minutes. The maps show the various filming positions visited during our stopover. Just above the northern end of the platforms, a steep cutting is crossed by a high bridge, giving this view of the trains below. Class AM08 electric units, built by Siemens and belonging to the Desiro family of train sets, make up the majority of train types to be seen. 210 single voltage, as well as 95 dual voltage units, were built between 2010 and 2015. Arriving with the 0615 Jean Bleu to Schaerbeek, are unit numbers 556 and 020. The first is a dual voltage unit numbered in the 500 series. Loco-hauled services also appear, with at least one each way per hour throughout the day. In addition to these, there are some commuter services that are used to offer additional capacity. Loco-hauled trains do not stop here, such as this, the 0557 from Dinan to Brussels. Class 18s, numbers 1895 and 1876, provide the power. This is the 0603 stopping service from Namur to Ortigny. These all-station services cater for local and longer distance passenger traffic, where many will continue on to Brussels with a connection forward from Ortigny, which is just 5 minutes away to the north, and is a junction with the line up from Tamines and Charleroi. Here we have units AM08, 170 and 577. Just 2 minutes behind is the 0553 from Gemelle to Brussels Midi, formed on this day by units AM08, 196, 543 and 546. Arriving at the southbound platform are units AM08, 577 and 170, returning with the 0705 from Ottigny to Namur. A repeating diagram that'll keep these two units happy all day. This is the 0712 from Agen-Bleu to Ottigny, a short journey taking just 18 minutes, including 4 station stops. The old order here as 2728 brings up the rear of the 0703 from Brussels to Liège. Services from the Luxembourg line to and from Brussels are formed of dual voltage AM96 units. This is the 0659 from Rocher for Gemelle. 511 and 503 are paired up, working the 0733 from Brussels to Luxembourg City. To 709 Paris South, with the 0803 from Brussels to Liège. Time was up for our 2.5-hour stopover. We've not shown all of the trains filmed, as there were many more AM08s working, which we didn't include. In our final section, we continue with our look at the busy freight and passenger line between Hanover-Wunsdorf and Minden, which forms the route onwards down to the Ruhr Valley and then on to the Rhine Valley. In this, the third part of our feature, we look at traffic on the section between Stadthagen and Haste, indicated here on our map. We chose a number of locations on this fairly straight piece of railway line. We begin just east of Stadthagen, as Westfalenbahns 446004 heads east. (193.737) was next on this Rotterdam Europort to Poznan intermodal service. This is train 43460, an as-required working from Rzepin in Poland to Bad Bentheim, containing chemical products. Motive power is provided by 186274 on Har to Lotos from owner Railpool. The loco entered service on the 2nd of December 2010. ICE sets operate some of the frequent intercity trains seen along the route. This is the 0651 from Berlin to Dusseldorf, formed by 402.008. seen with its nose doors open. Moving northeast a couple of kilometres and we move closer to Lindhorst, a location we've been to before in previous issues. Heading towards the camera are a pair of Class 402s working the 0428 from Cologne to Berlin. Westfalenbahn operate semi-fast services between Braunschweig and Rheine. Here, two of their services pass each other. (386.030) belongs to Metrans. It is seen here working an as required Wednesday and Friday service from Gondki to Rheinhausen. Class 111s are fairly rare here now, so we were pleased to see 111, 112 heading north light engine. Moving northeast again, we concentrate on the area around Lindhorst Station, not long after daybreak on the 4th of June 2019. 403022 is a rather unusual train type seen on this line. Normally the ICEs observed are from classes 401 and 402. Local services are operated by DB and are hourly in each direction. Most are formed with class 424 units such as this, the 0526 from Hanover to Minden. Seen here with 424, 024, 027 and 026. (186-246) is in charge of a loaded car train from Pörna, near Dresden, to Emden. The Skoda cars having previously come from CZECHIA. Some serious tonnage here as Voith Maxima, number 264008, heads south on a loaded aggregate working, bound for Papenburg. RBH's 14508 works train 63250, an as required service from Leipzig to Bottrop. (185-236) is rapidly being caught up by an ICE service behind and is set to enter the nearby loop. The train here is 68362 from Stendal to Zander Wilhelmshaven. This is the view from the station platform as 120-151 brings up the rear of the 1156 from Hanover to Stuttgart. Infrastructure operator BBL Logistic, based in Hanover, operate 6 MAK-built Class 1214 diesels. Here we have 1214-020 and 1214-026, numbered 13 and 15 respectively, seen on a set of ballast hoppers. The previous train was looped to allow 402, 007 and 001 to overtake, forming the 1051 from Berlin to Dusseldorf and Cologne. Diesel unit number 648291 was an unusual sight, presumably coming off maintenance somewhere. (424-031 and 039) are on a local service from Minden to Hanover. Moving northeast, and we are on the outskirts of Hasta, one of two locations we visit at this junction town. 152-136 is seen heading north. 402, 003 and 026 are paired up, forming the 1549 departure from Berlin. (189-212) was hard out to LTE when this scene was filmed. Here it heads west with train 41350 from Poznan-Schwarzenz to Rotterdam Europort. RBH's 145040 heads north. (185-221) followed shortly afterwards, with train 47723 from Amersfoort to Valkenburg. (101-015) heads the 1259 from Stralsund to Cologne, one of a number of extra intercity trains to run on a Friday to cope with the weekend rush. (110-383) is seen here, conveying brand new ICE 4 power cars for set number 9034. These are part of a potential order for 85 12-car sets ordered by DB. They were originally intended to replace classes 401 and 402 ICEs, but these are set to be retained to cope with future traffic growth. We now move to the main station as Westfalenbahn's 445/446 twin-decks Vario unit number 010 slows for the station stop. (424,004 and 013) leave with one of the hourly departures to Nienburg. The train will take a southerly route before heading north through Hanover and then heading west to reach its destination. You can see up to 8 passenger services each way here per hour on the main line, with around 4 freight services. 146561 is seen heading for Cologne, with a service from Dresden. Locomotive 101082 powers through with the 11:49 Berlin to Stuttgart Fridays only service. (185-271) heads south with train 47336 from Nymburk in Czechia through to Osnabrück. Class 187s are now regular performers along this route. Here we see 187-140. As we have witnessed, this route can see a good variety of traffic, and it is busy, so you don't have to wait very long for a train to pass. In a future edition of European Railway, we will close our look at this line with a stop at Wunsdorf, the next station to the north. As the 193785 haul train disappears from view, we would like to thank you for watching this edition of European Railway.